bit about how you would describe the smell that you can smell?
Well, I used to say it was, quite a musky, heavy smell, but in actual fact, it is its own smell. Now that they've identified the molecules, each molecule will have its own smell, and the combination together give Parkinson's an identification that is its own smell. My name is Joy Milne. I lived with Parkinson's for 32 years. My husband had it, and I am excited about the work we're doing.
I'm Drupat Trivedi, and I'm a lecturer here at Manchester, a lecturer in measurement and analytical sciences. And my research is mainly data-driven, so I look into lots and lots of data to different diagnostics.
My name's Helen Stevenson, and I'm the Head of Partnerships at Reason Digital. My role on the sprint this week was to offer some of my insight that I've got through working across 3 different Parkinson's projects now.
My husband had Parkinson's disease. He was a doctor and I was a nurse, and we realised at one of the Parkinson's meetings or 2 of the Parkinson's meetings, that there was a smell with Parkinson's that I had smelt in him 12 years before he was diagnosed.
Sense of smell has been always used for diagnosing diseases right back in ancient time, and at some point we stopped doing it. But now we have got excellent mass spectrometers and things that can measure chemicals. What Joy is smelling is most likely something that goes into gas or vapor form, or something that goes off, and you can smell it. These things can be measured and also separated. So what we do is we take a sample from this particular skin swabs. We make the chemicals evaporate or go into gas phase. We can separate the mixture of everything that's going into gas. And at the same time, what Joy does is also smells these things coming off the separation technique. So as things are separated, Joy can indicate on what they smell like and if they smell like anything.
This opportunity actually came about when Purdy and Drupat sent an email to the Reason Digital team, as we're both based in Manchester, saying that they had a lady that could smell Parkinson's and could we create an app for them. So obviously our interest has immediately peaked. We gathered together a team of designers, developers and strategists to run a really intensive but highly collaborative week-long process to design, develop and test a prototype with real-world users. We took the Reason Digital team over to the Manchester Institute of Biotechnology, and we effectively locked ourselves and the research team and Joy in a room for 3 days to really understand the problem that we were trying to solve and the potential solutions that could do it. Once we had effectively exhausted the entire team, we then moved on to rapidly prototyping our idea in a day. And then the week concluded with testing that prototype with 4 people, one of which was a doctor, 2 were people with Parkinson's, and we had researchers as well.
The idea was to make our lives much easier in terms of data capture. Our study has blown up from being 3-site study to about 28 sites study nationwide. And the idea was to make our processing of samples as easy as we can, because we want to reach more people, but you can't do everything manually. So we wanted a tool to capture data more easily, but now I think it's developing into a tool that won't only capture data, but also integrate different aspects of data. So clinical observations, what patients notice themselves and what we'll measure in the lab, and put them all together so that statistics that go behind into discovering biomarker are even stronger. So it's put the project in an entire exciting perspective.
So the sprint was looking at how we digitise that current process for doctors and nurses to submit their information, but that's not the end of it. The next thing that we want to look at is how patients can log their symptoms on an ongoing basis, and everything's tied to the same record. In a few years' time, this would mean that this is the biggest Parkinson's directory of research globally, and could lead us to a point in about 10 years when we have a diagnostic test for Parkinson's that's quick and easy and produces much better patient outcomes.
It's not me now. It's not me and my nose. I don't go around smelling umpteen people or swabs. It is all about GCMS. It's all about the study, the science, and the approach that Manchester is taking to this is absolutely clinical. They're very particular about what they are looking for and how it is portrayed.